Almost all digestive enzymes are derived from mold. They're derived from mold. Mycotoxins possibly exist within these things. Mold specifically does, little fragments of it in little residue of it does exist. And when people have enzyme issues, guess what? Often they're being exposed to mycotoxins in their home. And when they take these enzymes, they can start to have issues. And often they start to have worse digestive issues in the long run. I tried digestive enzymes, they didn't work for me. The real reality was I was taking them with foods that I couldn't break down. And instead of trying to just take enzymes and betaine HCl and all these things, instead I just need to go ahead and stop eating those foods and focus on the foods that are easier to digest. So common examples when you have digestive enzyme, deficiency is people are overeating the meat, they're overeating the eggs, the gluten, the dairy, the nuts, the seeds, the processed foods, all the things that are common irritants. And they're wondering why they have, these enzyme deficiencies. And they're saying, man, I need to take more enzymes because I need more protease, or I need to take betaine HCl to break down the meat, or whatever it is. But the reality is they can't break down these foods all the way regardless, and they continue to consume them. And if you're not breaking them down without digestive enzymes, you don't need to keep consuming them. You need to just stop eating them and eat something else until your body starts to heal up, and then start to add the foods that are hard to break down. So you don't want to go ahead and just keep feeding into the situation and giving yourself digestive enzymes, even if you're not sensitive to them, even if you have no mold exposure. The reality is most people who have digestive enzyme issues, they are overeating the wrong foods. They're overeating the wrong foods. They're not having enough plants. They're not having enough raw foods, not enough raw juices, not enough smoothies, things like that. They're eating processed foods, and they're eating too much animal products in general. So the other part I want to tell you, as I mentioned before, is, a lot of people have enzyme issues, pancreatic elastase, being low, etc. All these things are tied to mycotoxin exposure. So you don't want to necessarily just disregard the concept that, hey, these enzymes themselves are derived from mold. And if I potentially have low enzymes because I'm living in a house with mycotoxins, then hey, guess what? Maybe I shouldn't take these. Maybe that's the reason my thoughts are racing. Maybe that's the reason my skin's healing. Maybe that's the reason that I'm constipated. Maybe that's the reason all these other symptoms that are showing up a week or two down the line from using the enzymes. When people say, oh, but my digestion got much better when I started taking the enzymes. Well, that could be good. Yeah, great. But 2 weeks later, is your anxiety worse? Is anything else worse? And this is the reality behind supplements. Most of them is that, if they're not plant derived, they're not meant specifically to modulate the immune system, then you end up in a situation often they irritate you later in the game. And then you think that it's your other symptoms that are just flaring up, but it's these supplements you've been taking that are new, you've been taking over and over again. So I just want to spread the word. Enzymes are often derived from mold, and that is not what you want to do if you have mycotoxin illness or you have any history of autoimmune disease or chronic illness, because often that's tied to mycotoxin illness. So thanks for watching, everybody. Go to my website, endsickness.org. I got hundreds of videos and articles on there, and hope to see you again in another video soon.